Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Let me know in the live chat you can hear me and see me okay, and we will blast on with tonight's show. I'll keep an eye on that. But welcome to another live edition of, GFL Station podcast. We have a very important show tonight. We've got a very important global peace meditation at the end of tonight's presentation, possibly, arguably, potentially our most important yet. But if you're watching this now live or even watching this back as a replay, welcome to the Great Awakening. This is an extraordinary time on Earth. And despite the chaos, madness, and confusion that is out there in the world, and you probably know what I'm talking about, we are headed towards some very, very exciting things. I'm very excited about the future. I am incredibly optimistic about this Star Trek reality that we're headed towards. And all of the messages we are receiving from our galactic friends point us towards things that are happening and that are about to happen. And of course, as they will always say, is how you validate all teachings, the power is within us. And I am just very, very excited about that because of that. And we're in charge of things. Now, that doesn't mean that we go running around broadcasting this stuff, what have you. We keep it quiet, we keep it secret, we keep it sacred, and we just do the work we need to drive our ascension forward and trust that everything is on track. So, welcome to another live broadcast today, coming at you live from Western Canada. And if you are not familiar with our regular broadcasts, we present spiritual, esoteric, channeled information, as well as many other things on our platform. And if it doesn't resonate with you, then we just ask you to quietly leave. You don't have to stay in the live chat and cast profanities. And if you do so, you will be blocked and removed from the live chat. Not because we want to ban free speech, but we want to keep a nice positive environment here. And you don't have to stick around if anything I say or anyone else says in the live chat does not resonate with your belief system. You're not a tree. You can move. Regardless, we will love you and we will continue on in our love light energy. So welcome all of you. Let me know where you're from in the live chat. I know you will. Welcome Mount Shasta. Goodness me. I know we have a truly global audience. We're approaching 500 live already. I know we'll sort of spin towards 1,000 plus, but it is a very curious time in the world where we have people like Elon Musk reposting things like this. Okay. The Q posts, those of you who are familiar in 2017 onwards, of them, if you look on the top of this image here, Elon Musk reposted, and this has since been deleted, by the way, but we have visual confirmation. Someone screenshotted this. So Johnny Mnemonic, whoever that is, we don't know who that is, Elon Musk reposted this. And what does the image show us? Well, there's a Q on there. There's a great awakening. And there is a woman with a white hat. There is an image behind the Q of a cloud scene, looks like some kind of a galaxy in the background. And there are angelic figures around. So there's so much symbology in here that you could spend an hour deconstructing. But the point of me sharing this is this. I was recently guided to watch the Terminator movies again. And those of you who are unfamiliar with them, I highly encourage you to watch them, specifically the first two. Okay, after the second one, it kind of doesn't just go downhill, it just sort of evaporates from any kind of degree of coherent filmmaking, in my opinion. But the first two are incredibly symbolic, and the other Terminators 3, 4, and 5, I think, and there's a sixth coming. I watched 3, 4, and 5 as well. I think there's one more. I think I've got that number right. But anyway, all the others come from the first two because the first two are so iconic. And it just reminds me that, and those of you who are aware of my story, I nearly went to Hollywood in 2013, 12 to go make movies mainstream. I was very, very close to doing that. I was about 6 months away from going down to Vancouver, then down to LA. I had put together a whole portfolio and plan. And I was going to direct movies in Hollywood, but I was pulled very serendipitously away from that path, and a big timeline shift for me to build out more of a leadership-based company. And that's a longer story. But anyway, so I appreciate the nuances of filmmaking just from my own personal perspective. Filmmaking and movies are a very personal thing. Some people like some things, some people like others. Some people appreciate some things, some people appreciate others. And that's all grand. And for me, I just appreciate good filmmaking, good script, quality score, soundtrack, um, quality filmmaking, and just natural portrayal, good acting, and good cast, obviously. And I think the first and second Terminator movies, or the first was a little bit cheesy back in the 80s. The second was iconic from Cameron, James Cameron. And it reminded me of the White Hats. And it reminded me of the White Hats because we're getting so much flavor from mainstream figures about time travel. Time travel has clearly been going on behind the scenes. We don't know to what extent. We know from our galactic friends, Ashtar especially, now I bring forth Ashtar messages, those of you who are aware of the channel, have shared quite frequently across the last at least 4 or 5 years of us posting to me and to others, not just to me, but I can speak to me only, that there has been movement across the chronosphere, so the timelines, and specifically the linear time frame as we understand it as humans. Of course, time is not linear, but we see it in this way in third and early fourth density. And I do think there has been quite a lot of time travel personally, and I've got a bit of evidence to suggest that for my own belief. You don't have to believe that, go and believe your own things. However, the Terminator series specifically reminds me that I do think it was key revelation and disclosure of the time travel that's been going on. And I want to take a minute to appreciate the white hat element, certainly the human element, now the galactic element, of course, but the human element of the white hats in the Alliance, who many of them have certainly given their lives, they've transitioned their physical bodies in the namesake of material sense freedom for us, for you and I, to be in this position that we're in now in the Great Awakening. And they've done that in places on Earth, places outside of Earth, places that we'll never hear of, with stories that we will never know about because they were special operations. Now, as we move into higher densities and become more naturally remote viewingly telepathic, if you like, we'll be able to see these timelines and revisit them and even sort of communicate with them and travel back into them. And some of you can do that now. And I know we've talked about that in other shows with astral travel, astral projection, biolocation, etc. But I wanted to take a minute because I know these broadcasts are in part monitored by the White Hats and in some way watched by some of them, maybe. I don't actually know that for a fact, but that'd be really cool if they did watch some of these live. They did these meditations with us. That'd be very, very cool. And nothing to do with me. It's all about the family of light coming together. But I want to take a minute to thank them for all the things they are doing behind the scenes. There's clearly tons of things going on behind the scenes. And there is this sort of shadow war that has been going on since the assassination of JFK. Way before that, of course, but in modern times. And we are seeing the evidences of this now. Okay, more and more and more. Now, tonight we're going to talk about the New Earth split, but a very, very powerful transmission, in my opinion, from from Tia of Arcturus, the Arcturians, that came in late last week, and I sort of dressed the whole show around this transmission. That goes live tomorrow. I'll talk about that in a minute. But we're clearly seeing some of the things that are playing out that have been predicted by the sort of the Q operation, the Q commentary, the Q posts. We're seeing that play out now. And we're seeing what's called a trifurcation. Now, we know about the bifurcation. There's a trifurcation, which Tia mentioned on her last transmission, which goes live tomorrow, which is I thought was very, very interesting because that grabbed me. More importantly, the trifurcation that leads to unification. Okay, now we're going to get into that in our slides in a minute. However, as I digress here, I know that this would not be possible physically without the operations that some of the White Hats have been doing in secret. And I want to pay homage, respect, and gratitude to them for doing that because I know it's going on. And in the physical sense of reality, It's been quite extraordinary, some of the things that have been going on and still go on to today, because it's not over yet. And it will never be over. There'll only be evolutions upon the spiral. However, the ascension could never be stopped. It could only be delayed and distracted against. And this is one of the key things that the Cabal, in my opinion, got wrong, or at least maybe got right for us. They were the catalysts all along for us. But the ascension could never be stopped because Creator was always going to express and everything was always going to be returned back to source. That is happening at an exponentially rapid rate now. Okay. So just to show you that again, it's just a profound repost from Elon Musk. You won't be able to find this because it's been deleted from Johnny Mnemonic's timeline on Twitter. But it was posted on August the 7th. I did find a screen grab, and it is indexable on Google at this time. Someone has screen grabbed Johnny's post here. So we now have major billionaires who are confirming these things. It was always meant to be this way. Now, those of you who are looking at the mainstream news and still being confused by things that is going on by the President of the United States and Donald J. Trump, we are seeing now a clear pattern, and I really, really need you to get this, a clear pattern of, because there's a large portion of the trifurcation, which I'm going to get into in a minute, the three channels of the Great Awakening, which are present and in play right now. There's a group of people who still think that that the current administration, certainly in the US, is part of the cabal, and this is some elaborate trick that they're still being used to pull us into some one world order. Okay. I don't believe that, and I have plenty of evidence for myself to think the contrary. Okay. Now, we're seeing now Anthony Fauci being brought back into the limelight. Now, I'm not for and against anything. I'm very much in the neutral realm of things. I'm observing. But this is an example of what I'm talking about with regards to this group of people that still think that, I'll just say, Donald Trump, love or hate him, doesn't matter. He's playing his role, as we all are, okay? Who thinks that he's still part of the machine, the cabal. I want to paint this picture for you. This is very, very important, in my opinion. Imagine you're in a big forest, okay? And you're one of the leaders of the forest. However, the forest has grown. I sound like Magenta Pixie now with her love Magenta, beloved Magenta, a sister of light, a friend of ours. Her language. You're in the forest and you are tasked with bringing the forest back into unity. Okay. Now, the forest is full of animals, parrots and foxes and tigers and lions, you name it. Creators' expressions. There's many, many different species of everything. And there is a mix across the forest, as I zoom out here, is a mix across the forest of positively polarized animals and negatively polarized animals. Animals who are positively geared towards serving the divine plan at different stages and levels. And there are those who are more geared towards serving the negative agenda. Okay, let's just say it like that. Now, you're responsible for finding out from a material point of view who is on what side and leading the path towards the light. One of the first things, and there's so many animals, there's no way, and they're very deceptive. There's foxes and wolves, and some of them are very cunning. There's no way you know who is aligned with what. Everything is done in secret, and when one thing is said, another thing is done. Okay, so there's a mishmash of very difficult to determine energies. So the only strategy that you have to do to determine who is on the light side, who is on the dark side, is what? Someone tell me in the live chat, how are you going to find out when so much corruption has gone on in the forest? You've no idea who's telling the truth or not. How are you going to find out who is telling the truth or not? Someone tell me in the live chat, and I'll wait. You're going to love this forest metaphor for you. You love my metaphors. This is how my higher self speaks to me. It's quite bonkers, in fact. Someone tell me in the live chat what you would do if you were that leader in the forest and you had a small group of friends who were of the light. You knew that. You vetted them and they were with you. But you did not know who everyone else stood for. Play both sides. No, not what I'm looking for. Read energy, yes, but that's not what I'm looking for. Discernment, play the bad guy. Yes and no. Frequency, intuition. They're good guesses, guys, but I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for something different. What would you do? What would a strategy be? What would a physical strategy be? How would you go about starting to identify who is doing what? Because a big forest, thousands of acres. Okay. You're all right, but it's not what I'm looking for. Discern, there's always a pattern. Be still and watch. This is all part of it. Channel the answer out of the forest. By the fruits you will know them, yes, but I'm looking for something before that. Okay, test them. Okay, this is the closest so far. Oh my God, there's so many replies here. Love bomb them. Yes, that's part of it as well. Okay, hold on. Don't start fires. Who said that? Dagmar, you little bugger. Okay, test them. I'm going to stop on this. The first thing, and probably the only thing you can do, okay, is open the gates. You have to let them all in. All right? Because the forest is too big and too wide, and there's too much division. There's too much ground to cover. You have to let them all in. And more than that, as this Rainbow Bright 16, thank you, has posted, shares here. Maybe she meant this, I don't know, but it's most relevant to what I'm looking for here. They're going to be placed in positions of importance. Let's see what you do in this position. Come on in. Be the director of national intelligence. You seem great. Let's see what you do. Let's see what your jacket is like right now in intelligence circles. That is, who are you playing with? Who are you messaging? What boards of directors are you on? What backroom deals are you doing behind the scenes, etc., etc.? I want to find out everything about you. The only way to do that is to let them in. All right. Now, if you remember back in 2020, 21, Trump stood on stage with Fauci, and it seemed like he was really promoting Fauci in many ways. Okay. And there's many of the Great Awakening crew which said, what the hell are you doing? Like, we believe that Fauci stands for this, and now you're showing us that he stands for that. And it looks like you're supporting him. Guys, this is one example, because now this is coming full circle, right? Look at what's happening in the news now in these hearings or these congressional meetings with Fauci, and they're dragging him through the mud, and it will play itself out. But this is one example as evidence, okay, corroborating evidence that this is a tactic, because now it's coming full circle. They found out what they needed to find, whatever they needed to do with Fauci behind the scenes. Now it's come to my attention that deals have been done. This is all a formality, right? But for the public, it must play out. Believe that if you want, doesn't matter. So this is now clear evidence that this was a tactic. All right. So be careful. My point is this: be careful when you're seeing mainstream headlines, especially with this guy Trump. Okay. I love him or hate him. It's irrelevant to me. But there's clear strategy going on. And the thing that you're hearing in the mainstream is extremely unlikely to be what's going on. It will be a cover layer to what's going on. Okay, now this intelligence operation, which has been going on for a long time through the White Hats, and Trump is one of the spokespeople, if you like, or people on the front lines of things. Love him or hate him, doesn't matter. He's there and he's doing his job. He's doing a job. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and it's me sharing this with you is critically important for the upcoming chapter. Okay, because nothing is going to make sense if you judge things by appearances. Remember the iceberg, all right? It's all underneath, guys. It's not what's on top, right? Very important. Let's begin with the reading. What we're going to do is what we always do, which is read from this book here, Earth, Pleiadian Keys to the Living Library by Barbara Marciniak. Let's start off today's show, a live reading. I'm going to flick through the pages at random. I'm going to ask our Pleiadian guys to join us and to guide my fingers to stop the page at the place where we most need to hear the information. So if you will, I ask for your participation now. Please, if you feel called to do so, close your eyes, call upon your Pleiadian guides, and ask for their direction. What do we most need to hear right now from this book in the highest frequency of love, light, energy, which is all there is? God is the only power. Guide us now. Okay. This is where we stopped. Riding the corridors of time. Page, sorry, on the side. 181. Interesting year I was born. We're already into major synchronicities. Okay. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Right in the corridors of time, the living library of Earth will ease you into a vibrational shift of sharing and flowing with energy. From nature, Earth's majestic playground, you will learn how to merge and emerge into corridors of time. Time is a construct. Here we go. On Earth, you have been under the assumption that the present springs from the past. We suggest that the present springs from the future as well. Time has many doorways through it, and the past and the future both have their own validity and importance. This is all part of the ever expanding now. These ongoing nows continue to grow and mature, the same as their future counterparts. The assignment you are on involves changing your past. You can't make this stuff up. As you spring from the future in order to create a different present. I got goosebumps right now. Time is collapsing in upon itself. Right now, it seems to you that space implies distance, that it separates you. When you think of a friend in another part of the world, there is a space between you. The collapse of time involves a disruption of the boundaries of frequency control that define the world you operate within. As cosmic rays are caught by your sun and energized into your solar system, everything is sped up. This brings more possibilities into the now and bursts the barriers of third dimensional time that determine the stage on which events must be played out. Okay, the structure of third dimensional time locks and isolates you from your psychic self, the self that moves beyond time. Your psychic self knows things that are beyond what is apparent in the time you are in. A little bit more. You are ruled by cycles and rhythms. A main influence that decides the pulse of life is the moon. Now, we know about the moon, the Pleiadians know about the moon as well. Through the moon's cycles and by the revolving of Earth on her axis and Earth's rotation around the sun, you make and define time. The moon, of course, in orbit around Earth, acts as celestial companion on the cyclical journeys. Until the advent of electricity, these were the rhythms through which life was lived and defined for thousands of years. People could watch time pass. Day turned into night, and night turned into day. Time had distinctions. People could watch the seasons pass, and time was based on something that could be verified. With electricity came the breaking of these rhythms, for there could be light past dark. People began to use time differently for functioning with light while it was dark. For functioning with light while it was dark heralded a radically different approach to the 24-hour day because electric light provided more moments to expand into. Page 181 and 182. I mean, I did not choose that page. It was a completely random flick. So again, we're talking about time travel, and what do we get? A passage about time, all right? Doesn't necessarily need to mean anything specifically unless you get something from it. But again, another synchronicity that we are on the right path as the family of light. Whose number synchronicities are wild right now? 444s, 1111s, 111s, 1212s. Comment in the live chat, because there are people out there who would think they're going crazy that might be validated by what you're experiencing too. So use your voice. Don't be scared to. My number of synchronicities right now are crazier than they've ever been. It's like there is nothing else but number synchronicities. That's how frequent it is. But that was crazy, all right? I'm talking about time travel, Terminator, and we have a passage about time. Okay, there we go. Now, before we get into today's slideshow, I want to just play you a little reel that Kelly made, my dear cosmic partner, my ascension partner, my cosmic flame, my cosmic union, who's traveling right now in Victoria, seeing some friends and what have you. And I just love this because there is a flood. There is a sort of almost a chaotic flood. I guess a flood sort of says that by itself, but there is a wash of information right now out there. Okay. And it is very easy to get pulled into the negative news stories. So be very, very mindful of this. And I want to play you a video here. And if you have just bring my speakers off. If you have headphones, pop them in real quick and watch this back, because I just love this from Kelly, who took this from another post, another Facebook reel a couple of years ago. But I love this, and it really is a very good, simple technique on how to really stay in the right lane right now. Now, lanes are going to become important in a moment. Okay.
Hey Starseeds. So I saw this great video on Facebook. Take this glass of water, which represents our life and our life force energy within the cup. This dirt represents everything that life throws at us. So this is the stress, and the stress accumulates over time and becomes trauma. And when we become aware, we start to do some healing, and we start to focus on the trauma to get back to that version of our true self. So as we're doing this, and we're trying to get it all out, and we're trying to return to our state of pureness, we're taking out a lot of that good stuff as well. Yeah, we're getting rid of some of the crap, but we are spending a lot of life force energy in doing so. So there must be a better way. And there is. So here's a trick. Instead of focusing all of your time, energy, and attention trying to get rid of the stuff in your life and trying to fix yourself, just put more good stuff in there. The more good stuff you fill your cup with, the more you're gonna get rid of all the bad stuff. So, friends, focus on the good stuff.
Okay. You enjoy that? Pour in the good stuff. Okay, you're not spiritually bypassing anything because you're doing the work, all right? You're seeing things that come up and addressing them, but pour in the good stuff, because that is the only way to get the bad stuff out permanently, all right? Anyway, let's go, guys. Let's go. Come on, we got a really important unity meditation to get into here. Let me take me off here for a second so you can see that. Pour in the good stuff. The glass was not empty. Yeah, but if she kept pouring, it would have been. You get the idea. Come on now. You get the idea. All right, let's make it full screen. And I'm going to, hold on. Let's pop that up as well. Okay, guys, here we go. Let's rattle through these. Please pause this video and read this disclaimer. I'm going to whiz through it. Important to read and be aware of. If you want to join us on Patreon, this is where it's really happening, guys. Got some very cool things going on over there. Very amazing things to come, which you're going to have to be a member of Patreon for. Hit the join button when you come to this screen. The link is at the bottom or in the description of this video. And if you want to gift a membership to someone else, hit the bottom right. hand corner button. It says gift now. If you want to join yourself, do not hit gift now. Hit the join black button where the arrow is. Okay. You know the drill. This is for those who are not yet with us. So thank you for your patience. Those of you who are already aware of these slides, we are in the middle of a 90-day challenge right now. Very, very important as it relates to tonight's show. And in my view, the state of the world, the Throne of God practice. This is the group chat link or the group chat visual for the link to it. If you are a member on Patreon and are not yet in the group chat for the Throne of God, please join us over there. It's in the chat section of your dashboard, okay? Huge message going live tomorrow, August the 18th, Tuesday, from Tia, who talks for the first time that I've heard, and about you, about the trifurcation. Okay. Now, the trifurcation is just really a stage that we're in. Okay. And it's not necessarily going to be three earths, or maybe the case, or three lanes that stays this way. We're going to get into that in a minute. But it does represent our current chapter. I think it's a really good visual from the Arcturians, at least it was for me, which is why I wanted to build today's show around it, about the three lanes of the Great Awakening that we're currently in. I'm going to break these down in a moment. And not necessarily that it's important to pick a lane, although it kind of is, not in a sense of separation, because there is no separation. But if you're watching this platform, if you're watching this broadcast, you likely fall into one of two lanes. Okay, I'm going to get into that in a minute. The trifurcation is becoming unmistakable. One group is exposing what has been hidden. Another is building calmer homes, healing spaces, honest communities, and better systems. The third lane remains with the familiar world until deeper questions begin to arise. Kind of cryptic that. Every group serves a purpose, yet Starseeds and Lightworkers carry a clear assignment within the path of building. Okay, so probably lane 2. Your strength is no longer required in every argument. It is required in what you create, how steadily you live, and what others experience in your presence. Which world are your daily choices helping to establish? Okay, really cool message on the path to unification. All right, goes live tomorrow. To watch the full transmission, sign up on Patreon. You'll get a snippet on YouTube as ever. Okay, I built this entire show, kind of looks like the Death Star, doesn't it, the grey one, from this transmission because I thought it was so important. I got quite a few downloads from it after Bree sent it in. So it was clearly meant to be built, and this show was meant to be on this. The journey to the new earth, from trifurcation to bifurcation to unification. Everything returns to one, all right, which is to say that nothing is ever not one. We just forget. Okay, the great remembrance is underway. So let's get into it. The new earth split. Okay, we have 3 different accounts. There's way more than this, but I've just taken 3 of which you can remember. It goes way back to ancient Egypt and way back before that on hieroglyphs and on stone and in parchment. But just for the sake of the modern era, okay, the new earth split is talked about in 3 separate, independent channels. All right, one is the Law of One in the 80s. The other is the Pleiadian channelings that I just read from Barbara Marciniak in the 90s and late 90s. And the next was from Dolores Cannon. Okay, our QHHT practitioners. They all speak of a new earth split coming. Now we're seeing it. Let's quickly go through this. A green ray world, the Law of One on the left here. And you can download these. I'll put these slides up for those Patreon members. This will be a downloadable slideshow for you in the post after tonight's show. One of the perks of being a member on Patreon. I have not done that with all these slideshows because they haven't necessarily been relevant, but I will do that with this one that you can go back and read. Highly encourage you to do that. Ra describes Earth graduating into 4th density. Okay, a reality of love and understanding where thought is visible, nothing can be hidden, and harmony is the very air. The first harvest is a pioneering minority, right? We know this. Ra states most souls repeat third density elsewhere. This is the new Earth split. So the new Earth opens with those able to welcome the light. We form a social memory complex, one shared planetary mind that heals, creates, and reaches back to serve those still climbing the spiral. Okay, this is the new Earth split, guys, happening right now. A lighter fourth density form, a still body. This is the new body that we are moving into, we are morphing into. And our bodies are undergoing massive changes right now, but far less dense, self-renewing, and radiant. Entry comes through graduation in the light. What does graduation in the light look like? Well, what are we doing in our 90-day of Throne of God practice, our 90-day practice challenge? We're embodying more creator light. Why? Because I was directed to share this. This is what I do. And it's moving me into an amazing place. So why would I not share the practices and principles that I'm putting into place that you can bless your life with too? Of course, I want to do that. I'm in service to the one, as you all are. And that's my goal, is to share with you things that I am doing that have moved me to places of magic and miracles that are not my practices and principles. They're ages old. All right. But I want to be able to bench test them to say this works, this doesn't. And then I can share it. And then because I have a platform, I can share it with you on sessions like this and in other things coming up like the Sovereign Academy, which is going to be very, very special. Which is going to be an entire curriculum on this stuff simplified from a galactic perspective, preparing us. Now, what's most important as we get into these three lanes now is that the family of light, we don't ignore from a resisting point of view what's going on, but we do mind our focus. Okay. We look through disclosure. What do I mean by that? We are looking at what's happening on the other side of disclosure. Right? We're leaders. What do leaders do? They envision a future for themselves. This is leadership. Now, more material leadership, perhaps, than spiritual that we're moving into. However, we are extensions of Prime Creator as our souls. Okay. Incarnate in human form. So we get to express and create through these forms. Now, the more we can align to source, the more these creations will be divine. Music, art, podcasts, conversations, all kinds of things. But the more we align to creator, the more we move into the harvest channel. Okay. All religions talk about this, from Christianity to Islam. All right. You have the resurrection, you have the end of days, all this stuff across all religions, called something different, but it all says the same thing. We're heading towards a rapturous event, a series of events that will propel us into a new reality. Okay. But remember, ascension is essentially a verb. All right. The solar flash isn't something that happens to us. It is a series of events that happens alongside us. Very important. Okay. We're not waiting for the solar flash. For Ra, the change arrives as steadily intensifying light, welcomed by the prepared. There we go. Graduation, not explosion. Very, very important that. Okay, I'll bring me back on here. If it's too small to read, don't worry. You can read the slides after the show. 1992 to 98, the Pleiadians have told us, through Barbara Marciniak and others, Earth returns to her original design, a galactic exchange center of knowledge and beauty with awakened humans as her librarians. Very cool. The family of light. That is you watching this, by the way. Who is there? The vision is vast. 6 billion potential new gods. Okay, I don't think there'll be that many, but maybe there will be in the end. With family of light serving as frequency keepers and tour guides for all who match love with love. We broadcast frequency, anchoring the legendary 1,000 years of peace by holding ecstasy, love, and achievement where despair once ruled. Okay, similar to the Ra teachings in the 80s, the 12-strand DNA rebundles. Cosmic light rewrites the human form at the subatomic level into the light-encoded body, right? What did Ra say? We're going to get a different body of light. Okay. Again, the Pleiadians talk about the solar flash. Waves of cosmic radiation arrive now in homeopathic doses, pre-tuning us so the great celestial event lands as an upgrade, not as a shock. Although I think it still will be a shock. Okay, let's fast forward now to Dolores Cannon's QHHT sessions, an independent source here of modern times. Thousands of quantum hypnosis sessions describe, and this is, if you who don't know what quantum hypnosis is, go and look it up. It's very interesting. I've had one by myself through Alice & Co. They're legit. Describe the new Earth as more vivid than here. Luminous color, radiant nature, felt communion, telepathic ease. Okay, think of the importance of that little paragraph. Thousands of independent QHHT sessions, people who don't know each other, having the same vision in hypnosis. All right, that's corroborating evidence. Very important. Everyone vibrating in range. The old earth continues for those still learning. That's important. And cannot perceive the new. The higher sees the lower, never the reverse. We build from joy. Okay, these are Alice & Co sessions here. Found tenders already preparing the new earth and channels anchoring 5D through music, art, and healing. There are a number of people who've already gone through, in my view, my opinion, to that 5D reality. Okay, it's already there. It's already built. The body, the physical form, again, talking about a different body we're going to have, transmutes as frequency rises. Dolores Cannon logged the symptoms of a body turning towards light. So if you're experiencing this, you're right on track. Fatigue, strange flutters in the body, deep recalibration. Okay, what are you experiencing in the body right now? The event, a wave of light bringing confusion and beauty together, carrying those in resonance across its pace, is set by resonance, not the calendar. Okay, so we don't know when this is going to happen, but we do know we're overdue. Okay, and I think we're very, very close to it. From a number of different reasons. We've gone over this in other shows. I'm going to get into this again. However, there's 3 independent sources there who, before the advent of AI, you could use that AI to do deep research and, make up information like it was your own, yet it was linked to other sources. We didn't have this level of AI with these 3 people. The Ra channelings, the Laura Von channelings, the original Barbara Marciniak Pleiadian channelings, and Dolores Cannon's information. And of course, it goes way back, but these are just 3 examples. There's way more than this. Of different independent corroborating sources, all saying the same thing, that Earth is going to ascend, we're going to get a new body, and the new ascended Earth, for those who do the work, okay, ascension is a verb, the new Earth is going to be an amazing utopian, if you want to use that, but an amazing home for the family of light, to create without limits, right? Harmonic living on Earth. It's possible, it's happening, and you're in charge of it. Very cool. Let's carry on. Okay, I'm not going to go through this now because this is geometria and numerology. I highly encourage you to download the slides and go through this. There's some very interesting numerological corroborating evidences from the year from 2012 to today, 26, and you can even throw in 2020 if you want to put this in. But 2012, which is a 5, 2026, which is a 1, it's this year. Next year, very, very important year, which is a 2, sorry, an 11, sorry, 2 plus 2 plus 7, okay. And then 2030, which is a landmark year as well we know of, which is a 5, 5, 1, 11, 5. Very important numbers. Go and read this slide. I'm not going to go through it. It's too long. The trifurcation to the unification. Okay. I'm going to go through the 3-stage map here. Again, you can go back and read this. Now, the 144,000 starseeds that Dolores Cannon talks about have been successful. Right. Very, very important. They've done the job. Now, many of them have left the transition, but some of them are still here. And there are new waves coming in through the children, right now. Okay, now if you're thinking of having children like Kelly and I will be very shortly, set the intention to steward souls for the new earth. Okay, my recommendation. So in the middle of the three-stage map, trifurcation, which is now, there are three lanes of one awakening: the consciousness builders, the system fighters, and the matrix defenders. This is in Tia's message tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to ruin her message tomorrow, but I will explain it a little bit. So this is just for my own personal delineation and understanding, because I'm, in my brain at least, I want to be able to sort of work out where we are, because I want to be able to help people with where we're going and position myself accordingly, right? So there are three lanes right now of people, and there are different levels in those lanes. So bear that in mind. In the first lane of people, there are people who are exposing the system physically, right? Pointing the fingers at people who are and have been adjudged, like Fauci, to have been lying or whatever they've been doing, and calling out the system. They're calling people out. They want justice. They want material justice. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, they're on the front lines of protest. And if that's you, that's absolutely fine. All right. That's one group of people. There's a lot of people in this group. Okay. There's another lane of people, the second lane, which are people who have maybe come away from that, which is me. I can speak to this, who are much more interested in building the new earth. Okay. Who are looking through the disclosure, who are holding more of the love light energy rather than the resistant and human justice energy. No, there's no right or wrong. They're just doing different things. Okay. They are embodying the frequency of the new earth more. They're building new communities. They're doing global meditations like tonight. They're physically doing things on themselves to assist the divine plan from a much more, say a line makes me sound like I'm, again, judging people. I'm not, but from a much more higher frequency level. Now, if you look at the frequency scale of consciousness from David Hawkins, refer to that. If you're in the state of fighting the system and human justice, again, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a certain state and vibration that you are resonating at, you're vibrating at. Whereas if you are just focused on doing work in the etheric realms, more in the higher frequencies, you're vibrating at another level. Okay, just differences in frequencies. But there's a large portion of people who are also smaller than the other one, but who are in this channel now, lane 2. These are the frequency holders. Okay. Now, the third lane, I can go deeper into this, but listen to Tia's message tomorrow. It's important. We'll kind of break this down a little bit more. The third lane of people are people who are just not going to wake up. Okay. Now, a difficult truth for many of us to hear is that I want to encourage you to stop trying to wake people up. All right. Stop trying to share your truth over their truth. Okay. I'm not telling you what to do, but this is what I've done. If someone has a different opinion to me, cool. Respect the other different opinion. Love it. And I end there. I'm not trying to convince them my opinion is the right opinion, because largely at that point, you're arguing value systems, complete and total waste of time, because your identity is wrapped up in those value systems. So no one is ever going to win that argument, right? So the best you can do is just love that person and just walk away from the conversation, or dilute away from the conversation of conflict, whatever it was. If you need to draw boundaries, this book is wonderful, by the way. Go and read this. Use some of the principles. I've used it and practiced it. I talked about it in last week's show. Draw boundaries if you need to. Okay. However, there are a huge portion of people still who are not going to wake up, who've chosen to play the contrast. Of course, this is all contracted at soul level, right? Imagine you write your list of actions, okay, pre-incarnation. Some of them are in pencil, okay? Now, if you grab an eraser or a rubber, if you're from Europe, if you're from America and you hear that word, it's something very different. As I learned when I first moved to Canada many years ago, you can erase pencil. It's gone. That's not a soul contract. Soul contract is in ink. Okay, now you can dissolve the ink. There are ways to remove soul contracts and move above them. However, a lot of the inked, if you like, soul contracts of those who've agreed to play the contrast and not awaken, right, not embody more of source energy and recognize that journey home, like you're all doing. They're not going to wake up, guys. And that's okay. They're not supposed to. Now, a very small percentage of people will still, but most won't. And that's my opinion. It's what I see. It's what I feel. Certainly what the Galactics have shared with us. And Tia mentions this a little bit in the message, actually, tomorrow. But that's great because it frees us up from having to try and pull them across. Now, like Neo in the Matrix, there will be opportunities to go back in and help liberate others, which is really just guiding them back to themselves. Okay, now the work you're doing, the work of the light in lane 2, if you like, let's just use some labels. I don't like labels, but it's easy to sort of map things out for me this way. Don't use them if they don't resonate. But when you're doing the work of the light, okay, when you're in lane 2, that's not being passive. It's not spiritual bypassing. It's not doing nothing. It is the, in my view, and not just my view, the number one energetic thing you can do to drive the Great Awakening forward. Okay, now we've spoken about this across the quantum web. One, embodying the frequency of love counteracts hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of others who are carrying a disproportionate or disresonant frequency. The power of love. Why? Because it's restoring what is already there. There's only creator. There only is. There is only love. God is the only power. You're starting to get it. Right now, we're on this journey together. We're realizing more of this by practicing the principles that mystic saints and sages have left us to achieve higher levels of enlightenment. Okay, harmony on earth, the harvest. So the more work you do to embody more creator light, the more you affect others. In the Christian Bible, 10 righteous men can save the city. 2 or more gathered in my name, not Jesus. My as in God, creator, prime creator. 2 or more gathered with the intention of embodying creator light. You get the idea. Okay. Okay, so those are the 3 lanes, how I see it, guys. Okay, very interesting. Bifurcation, the next stage. The lanes resolve into 2 earths. Now, Mira from the Pleiadian High Council has talked about this a lot. Living, and Dolores Cannon talks about this, living side by side, the same streets, different realities, as the unstable middle lane empties into one of the 2. Right, this is the official New Earth split. That's the bifurcation that we all have heard about. Now, the unification, which is what tonight's meditation is going to be embodying more of. Many chapters later, the 2 merge into 1. In the law of 1, the emphasis is placed the end of polarity itself at the 6th density. Right? What was that Pleiadian message recently from Kaylin, Mira, sorry, about the 7th density? Earth is going to be a 7D Earth. We'll see how that plays out. I have mixed feelings about that, but it's very interesting. This is the final merging, the unification, right? The return to 1. Both views are true. Traditions watching the end see 2 worlds. Traditions watching the process see 3 lanes, 2 truths in sequence. Okay, let's carry on. I want to skip through a few of these. Go and read these slides, guys. Do I want to go through this? Let's see now. Okay, the attempted hijack. Now, I'll just talk a cappella on this. I kind of have a bit of a soft spot for the cabal, which sounds insane. I understand that. Imagine being part of this negative group and you've thrown everything at this dark agenda, right? Driven from the Orion group, from chemtrails to subliminal messages and adverts to try and keep the population from waking up. And you failed. You spent everything in terms of human resources to try and keep humanity in the dark, but it's failed. Now, there's going to be a small portion that stay there, but overall it's failed. The Great Awakening is in full swing and nothing can stop it now. Now, in 2012, many of you know the story of Project Looking Glass. If you don't, go and check that out. I'm not going back into that. That was the tipping scale of 144,000, as Dolores Cannon talks about, starseed souls that incarnated. Remember, the call was put out. Earth is in trouble. Who wants to volunteer and incarnate and help with the journey of the light? You are probably one of them if you're watching this, by the way. You might be a little bit older, but anyway. I have a bit of a soft spot for them because they've failed. Now, they're trying their heart out still for distraction and division, but I know the power of the light. I know because I embody it many, many times during the day in my practices. I try to. All right. That's what the mystical path is all about. And I know there is only one power. Now, as we went into last week in the three temptations of Christ in the Christian Bible, we don't tempt that yet because we're not yet in full Christ realization. So we don't walk out into the middle of the road and go, love and light, there's only one power. Bad idea. Don't do that. Okay. However, there will become a point in time when you will be able to do that, when you shall walk through the flames and they shall not kindle upon you. All right. But the cabal have failed. Now they're going to continue to play out their drama. And we're not going to be part of that separation. We're going to continue on in lane 2, in my view. However, I do forgive them. I do offer forgiveness to them. I do offer love for them. And if you're not praying for your enemies, you're not really praying. Now, Yeshua told us about this, one of the most important lessons on those on the mystical path. What was it? Okay, those of you who are from a Christian lean will remember this. I'm not Christian, but I'm from that background, so I'm very familiar with it, as I tell you about every week. Praying for your friends profiteth you nothing. Pray for your enemies. What does that mean? Even those who despitefully use and abuse you. I know it's tough. Okay. By the way, human justice is not justice. Never has been, never will, which is why lane 1 for me makes no sense. The law of return, the law of karma, the law of cause and effect has never not been in operation. What you sow into the universe will return to you. It's a magnetic universe. Okay. And if you sow into the flesh, if you like, if you sow into the material world, what will happen? You'll reap corruption at some point. But if you sow to the spirit, you'll reap life everlasting. What does that mean? It means if you sow to the material world, you'll receive things of the material world. If you sow to the one power, to love, you will receive that back. And in any one moment in your human experience, you only have one choice. You only have one choice. What are you going to focus on? And there are other choices that flow from there, but what are you going to focus on? What you focus on grows. Okay, be mindful of your focus, guys. It is your superpower. Okay, so that was the attempted hijack. Like Terminator 2, but this was the negative timeline. Judgment Day and Terminator 2 and the Terminator movies was inevitable. This is the inversion. Okay, the classic inversion. But ours arrives as the judgment of light. Very powerful. Not destruction day, graduation day. Love that. Go and read the slides. After the show, we're going to carry on. We're already doing this. I'm going to skip this. Now, if you are not yet doing this, pause this video after the show and read this. We are doing a 90-day challenge. This describes what that 90-day challenge is. It's embodying more creator light. Okay, go and read this if you're interested in doing it. I've introduced and created the point system. If you want to use that, do. If it doesn't resonate, don't use that. Pause the video and read the text here after. There is an addition to this. Get the 90-day challenge master edition. Go and read this. Go and pause this and read it. This slide should not be in there because that was last week's. So tonight, what we're going to be doing, Let's just do a quick Q&A and a quick pre-meditation preparation here. Tonight's show is about activating a unity node, if you like, let's call it that, within the collective field, all right, so that all the fragments, we have allowed ourselves to fragment ourselves into quite a mess, okay, humanity has. And us, one of our roles as the family of light, is to see those fragments for what they are, just stages on the evolutionary chain up the spiral, okay, part of a necessary process to then birth something new. We're not going to bring all those fragments together, all right? They're going to dissolve into the one truth. You're not going to bring someone who agrees with the COVID narrative together with yours, okay? If you have different belief systems, it's not going to work. So don't try it. Just love each other with different opinions. The same is true of religion, all right? There's a lot of, my goodness me, there's a lot of attacks in the on the spiritual community right now, specifically from the evangelical Christian community. Now, we received them. We got one the other day. I don't talk about them because I just try and see through them. However, there was one the other day where we received a lengthy email from an individual, clearly an evangelical Christian. I don't see him or them as that. I look through that and see the child of God potentially they are within. We're just souls having a human experience. However, sharing with me very definitively how what we were doing was very demonic and very satanic. And this Bible verse and that Bible verse, of course, they didn't know because they don't watch the shows, they don't watch any of our content, they don't have any idea what we're doing, and have no idea that I am very well aware of Christian scripture, probably more than them. But anyway, there's no competition of how what we were doing is very misaligned and how we shall be judged and et cetera, et cetera. And more importantly, has claimed that, because this is the reason they were writing to us, their mother in their family had been watching GFL station channelings, so much so that she had started to practice and embody some of the teachings, so much so that in their evangelical Christian family, it was causing quite a rift, and we were to blame for that. Okay, I understand. I don't judge them or blame them. I understand that this is all from fear. That's okay. But they mentioned that there had been harm involved, specific harm, physical harm. This was the first email to us a number of weeks ago. Now, I take that very seriously because if anything that we are sharing is directly causing harm to another, that violates my prime directive to serve that value and serve the divine plan. So I took that very seriously. Had it not been for that statement, I would have dismissed it and not replied to them. But I asked them, can you share with us and empathize, not like in a combative way? Thank you for the email. Thank you for the communication. We take this very seriously. Please, can you share with us where this harm has been caused? What specific video or group of videos? Was it something to do with Patreon? Have they been fleeced, charged money and not got their content, et cetera, et cetera? Where has this harm come from? I want to look into it. And it was a very detailed, legally framed message because it's a legal accusation, okay, in some format. However, they could not present to me any kind of concrete evidence whatsoever that anything of our material had caused harm. More importantly, that their strong belief and framework in angelical Christianity was being threatened by their 80-year-old mother-in-law, which perhaps demonstrates their faith was not that strong to begin with, unfortunately, which is where fear comes from. It's a defense, right? So my point is not to point the finger at that person. I love them deeply and dearly, whether they love us or not in human form is irrelevant to me. But it demonstrates that us as light workers are planted in key areas and soul contracts that we have in key family lineages to hold the light. And in this time, you may well experience quite strong opposition to what you're doing, especially if you follow the GFL station teachings and channelings. And this is just one example of many that we receive in this realm, which of course doesn't deter us in any way. So the fragments that are going on We love them and we appreciate them for what they are. We don't resist them, okay, because that just creates more resistance between them. All right, if you think about a piece coming together in a jigsaw puzzle, if it's got a jagged edge through resistance, it doesn't fit together, but it can coexist with a little space in between. And that's what tonight's Unity Node is all about, guys. Very, very important. So, we've got a message from Prime Creator, which I was woken up with at 3. It wasn't 3:33, but it was 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning almost this morning, which I've channeled, and we're going to have that read out tonight as well. But tonight is all about unity and seeing the division for what it is. Just another part on the journey of ascension, and it needed to happen for us to return to one. Okay. Now we've talked about the core premise of dissolving that in your experience, which is impersonalization. Now, in the Sovereign Academy, we've got a whole section of the curriculum on this, practices and principles about how to impersonalize the evils or the negativity. And that allows you to step aside and be very, very neutral in seeing things. But that's to come at the end of the year / beginning of next year, which you must be a member of Patreon to attend. By the way, however, this is probably going to be more chaotic and louder than ever before over the coming months as we head towards 2027 and certainly towards 2030, because as the solar flash waves begin to build, it's going to amplify everything in the field. All right, so whatever you're embodying, as we talked about before, as the galactics have shared with us, is going to be amplified. What you're carrying will be amplified. So mind your focus, mind your vibration. The 90-day challenge of the Throne of God practice, and I've got another one when we finish this, by the way, will run till September the 27th. We've still got some time. If you haven't yet joined, I highly encourage you to join us on this journey. There are magic things and miracles happening for those who are involved, and I'm one of them. Okay, so let's change gear. Let's change gear. Let me just go to the live chat. Have we got any trolls this week? Okay. Zach Marwick. Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. We're going to face opposition. But that's okay. All is well. All right, guys. I'm not seeing any major trolls here. So no one to perhaps kick out. I'm not going to do any questions because I want to get into this unity meditation. Yeah, Sheila Mullen, I hear you. There's going to be a bit of opposition, perhaps, from the religious segments, not just Christianity, it's going to be others. So we just impersonalize, see through that, and see the unity in everything. Michael asked me that question at the end. Okay, dear brother, thank you for that question. It's an important one. Okay, those of you watching, I need your participation, please. I'm going to put in a video here, which has got music in it. As usual, you know the drill. Let me know how the music sounds with my voice. When I have enough 5x5s in the live chat, I will start tonight's meditation. Here we go. Okay, so let me know how my voice sounds with this music playing. Is it too loud, too soft? It should be the same level as last week, but this will be the level I have it at if enough of you tell me that this is a good volume with my voice. Okay, let me know how it sounds. Give me a 5x5. Give me a thumbs up, whatever you want to do. Let me know that it sounds good, and we will kick off. 5x5's coming in hot. Okay, thank you, Diana. Thank you, Christine, David, Ryan. All of you. Love you all. Thank you. 5x5. There's more than enough. Here we go. Before we begin, if you need to take a glass of water, sip, please do so. I will. Hopefully you're in a place where you won't be disturbed for about 20 minutes in this very important, in my opinion, global unity meditation. Almost 1,000 of you live now. So I invite you all to close your eyes and let us find the present moment in our experience. Take a few deep breaths. Use the infinity breath or any breath work you feel called to use to return to the present moment and release anything, any tension not yet serving you any longer, not still serving you any longer. Return to 0 point in this moment. Find the love light frequency and let all the troubles in your experience melt away. I invite you to call upon your team of light to join you. We will, as ever, bring in the masters and the archangels, but call upon your team of light now to anchor the love light energy to help you hold the space in this meditation. If you feel called to do so, call upon the archangels as I do so now to join us in this session. Beginning in the east, Archangel Raphael, join us, dear Archangel Raphael, the Archangel of Air who carries the green ray of light, the green ray of clarity, clean perception, and clean mind. Clarity, clarity. Call upon Archangel Raphael to join us in the east. And to the south, Archangel Michael carries the azure flame, the blue ray, courage with love, protection without fear. Join us in the south, Brother Michael, Archangel Michael, or if you see a female angel, that is fine too. Join us in the south now. And to the west, Archangel Gabriel, the Archangel of Water carrying the diamond white ray of mercy, softness, emotional cleansing. Call upon Gabriel to join us in the west node of the horizontal plane at this time. And last but not least, to the north, we call upon Archangel Uriel, the Archangel of Earth who carries the red ray of stability, groundedness, and embodied presence. 4 archangels of the horizontal plane, 4 directions, to join the family of light, to hold the space and hold the love. As I call upon the masters now, if you feel called to do so, bring them in with me, either out loud or in your mind's ear, to join us around the campfire now as well. We ask for the presence of Yeshua, Jesus the Christ, Saint Germain, the loved one, Zoroaster, the king, Zarathustra, the Magi. Invite them in, feel their presence as they join us around the fire. Lao Tzu, the old sage, the Buddha, Babaji, the eternal one, Lahiri Mahasaya, the smiling guru, Sri Yukteswar, the teacher, Paramahansa Yogananda, the gift, El Moria, the Lord of the first ray, Kuthumi, the great guiding light, Dwal Kul, the master teacher, Paul the Venetian, Serapis Bey, the Lord of Ascension, Hilarion, the bringer of joy, the English master, Douglas Baker, the keeper of this ashram. Sanat Kumara and the great ancient of days, the planetary Logos. Amun-Ra, Vesta Helios, our beloved star, the solar Logos. Isis and the goddess energy of the Great Mother. Mary Magdalene and the high priestess energies, the great divine feminine balance. Krishna, the avatar. Kuan Yin, the incandescent one. Aina, the ninth dimensional guide. Mohammed the prophet, and Joshua, who walked with God. Family of light, the masters in you, all of you. Yahweh, divine connection in all of you. Your own savior figure in each and every one of you. Saviors in you, family of light. So now I invite you to take a deep breath in through the nose and hold the breath at the top. Hold, hold, hold. Bringing the awareness to the pineal. Bringing the pineal online now. And when you're ready, release the breath. 2 more times now. When you're ready, another deep breath in, holding the breath at the top. Lighting up the cave, bringing the pineal online. Feeling the activation of love-light connection. When ready, release. Make it intentional. One final deep breath in through the nose, holding the breath once more. Hold at the top, lighting up the cave. Bringing the antenna online, receiving the frequency of love light energy. And when ready, release the breath. Feeling connected, centered, anchored. Family of light. Welcome to a global unity, gathering of souls. For you, dear one, have traveled many lifetimes. You have gone through many lessons in human form to be where you are today. Take a moment now to find the gratitude in that. To find the gratitude for your oversoul. To know that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. You have not erred, you have not strayed. And if you feel you have, there is one step simply to make to return back to the path of the light. What is that step, you may ask? It is to remember who you are. You are not this human body. You have this temple. But it is not who you are. You are a great light, a fractal of the one infinite creator, expressing through this human form, this great divine temple. So let us step together now. Let us move into unity. We have evolved beyond the need to use the chakra system to create the portals to travel. Now we travel by light. There is no place in all of existence that we cannot travel to with just a thought. For this will be the paradigm, the vehicle of travel for the new earth. So why not practice it right now? In the crystalline new earth reality, where your focused thought will be if you wish to travel somewhere, will transport you instantaneously to that place. You have experienced this a little in the dream state. This is the astral, the fourth density beginnings. Oh, but where we are going, dear family of light, is far beyond this. The fifth density, the sixth density and beyond, where you travel by thought in the speed of light. So let us do this now. At the center of the galaxy is a grand central sun, a space where we can hear the Creator speak to us, even though we do not need to travel there for this to happen. But just like a community gathering needs a community hall, let us use this point of reference to journey there together as the family of light. So imagine you being there at the center of all galaxies, where a grand central sun, huge and golden and white, spills light. Imagine you are there, and you are now there. Watch around you as members of the family of light flash in, traveling with thought just like you just did. An audience before the great sun. You feel the love of the Creator here. It expands your heart center, fills every cell of your body, almost recharging you. There is a returning of home, sense of being here. Let us receive this message from the Creator now. Great ones, I speak to you now from the center of your own heart, where you and I have never once been parted. Let me place this truth gently within you. The separation was always part of my design, as hard as this is to see. Every experience you see in the human world, every division, every age of forgetting, was held within my hand from the beginning. For only the heart that has dreamed itself alone can awaken into the full glory of union, where you are headed now. All of it, dear ones, was carrying you home into the unification that will be your new home in the physical, in the new earth. Before time began, I fashioned the original human template, love made into living design, and placed it into the thoughts, into the hands of high beings of light as you would know them, that they may carry it to earth. You know you were seeded, and you know where from. But where did they receive their instruction? It was from me. Were they aware of this, dear ones, you ask? Well, of course. Feel this, that template is fulfilling its prophecy now. It was always going to, and nothing could stop it. It stirs within your cells. It remembers itself as you. And I say to you, ascension, just as love is indeed an action word, so you, my beloved, my light workers, must now embody more of my essence in everything you say and everything you do, until every word is a blessing, a little drop of honey, and every act is a bridge to me. There may come a season of the shaking of the tree, that the old fruit may fall away for the new. It may seem like it may go on for a while, dear one, and it may seem like it will never end. Yet I promise you, it will end. And from that very shaking, the new earth will be born, as a dawn is born from the deepest night. Everything, dear ones, is on track. You are held You are mine. You are love. You are love awakening to itself. And so it is. Let us take a moment here at this grand central sun to be infused, to feel these words and the love behind them. To allow us to remember who we are. Feel it glowing in your heart space as this remembering deepens now. And we have one thing left to do now. It is time to install this little node, this little seed of light, this little fractal of remembrance within the collective grid. For those who it seems like will never awaken, might just do so at the last moment. So if you are ready and if you wish to do this, place your intention to travel to the planetary chakra just above the earth. Using your great thought light vehicle, you appear there instantaneously, popping in with a flash of light, as quick as the light from the switch that is switched. Other members of the family of light pop in, hundreds, thousands now, all forming around the earth. So take a hand to your left, take a hand to your right. You know the drill. The family of light together as one. So now the installation. Look down upon the earth, and as you do, great jigsaw pieces, thousands of them, with different little movies playing upon them, like some strange technology. Movies of religion, movies of love, movies of spirituality, movies of things in the human journey, movies of great war and suffering, and the things we don't like to think about. Thousands of little jigsaw pieces. They're all just floating there, coming up from the surface. It is as if they are waiting for you to do something. And this would indeed be true. It is time to go to work, beloved family. So bringing our awareness now to the heart center and feeling and embodying and remembering that creator light we just brought with us from the grand central sun. Expand this great energy center in your heart. Make it green and golden and large. Now send a beam towards the center of the circle, towards all the jigsaw pieces, and watch, oh watch what happens. You see other members of the family of light beaming this love light energy into the circle also. And all the jigsaw pieces of division, of different opinion, different ages of humanity, start to meld together as one. A great transformation is happening. A great golden light begins to grow at the center of all these jigsaw pieces as more and more get drawn up from the Earth's surface into this great golden light. There is a great feeling of returning to oneness now. You notice the golden light in the middle is forming a letter, but you already know what it is. All the jigsaw pieces, like little pieces of gold being smelted, are melting into one letter. More and more are drawn up, and more get melted into the one letter that is now clearly visible, huge like a pillar. It is the letter I. Oh yes. Bring your awareness back to your heart center now and start to say to yourself, I. As you repeat this word, bring your awareness to the truth of your being, the fractal of the one I that is your true identity. Although we call ourselves by our human names, that is not who we are, but we do honor this. So say to yourself quietly over and over, I. And as you do, you notice the great I in the center starts to pulse, starts to radiate light. Yes, it is saying, you are remembering. Now from your heart center, move a golden eye that is within you into the great eye in the middle. Thousands of letter eyes moving and merging into the one golden eye in the center. Now the golden eye in the center transforms into a little golden etheric seed, diamond white and golden. It splits into a billion pieces and rockets down towards the earth, sending with it the love light energies of the one I, the one source, the oneness unity node, to every man, woman and child, like a video game, installing it within the etheric field. See it reach everyone, and see this love light energy be given a chance to germinate. All divisions melted, all opinions merged into one truth, that we are all one. And now it is time to return home. A great flash of light happens now, and up through these little diamond seeds, flashes and pulses a light as if electricity moving along a fiber optic cable up to the top in the center of the circle, where a seed rests and glows and rotates gently. All the little fractals are now linked to this one unity node. This is installed now and cannot be moved. So let us take a moment now just to sit in this energy of love light. If you wish to, you can beam through your heart center more love light energy into this central seed floating in the center of the circle. And as you do this, it pulses and sends a stream of light down to the little fractal seeds you just installed in every man, woman, and child upon the earth. The unity node is installed, it is active, and it is irreversible. Family of light, you were brought here at this time for this exact purpose, to hold the light in your unique way. So you are encouraged to return to this space and send a pulse from your heart center into this unity node whenever you feel called to do so. You might be surprised which other family of light members are there when you do so. So it is time to seal this. So repeat these words after me, and then we will journey back. It is done. It is finished. The unity node is sealed. And so it is. Om Dat Sat Om. Om Dat Sat Om. Om Dat Sat Om. So if you're ready to journey back now, we will journey back to the physical body. And I will give us a count from 5 to 0, 0 being the most awake. Using our thought and our traveling in the light, we bring our thought and opinion and realization back into the physical body now. We have work to do in the physical, and it is fine to journey back. 5, just feeling this connection now. 4, honoring the physical vessel, thanking it for everything it's doing, and feeling back in the body, connected to it. 3, just rolling shoulders ever so gently from side to side, rotating the torso. 2, just moving the head from side to side, ever so gently, easing back into the physical. 1, wiggling fingers and toes, ankles and wrists, about to be fully awake. And 0, when you're ready, eyes open. Welcome back. I will give you all a moment to come back. There is no rush. In your own time. Okay. Welcome back, family of light. Welcome back. Let me know how that was for you, what you experienced. Were there any particular sensations that came through for you? Let us know in the live chat, or more so in the Patreon group chat after the show here. Share your stories, share your emotions. It helps validate others who are going through the same thing. It's this great collaboration that's very, very important. So if you feel called to do so, please do. And thank you all for joining me tonight. That was a powerful unity meditation. I was directed to share it with you. And the work that we are doing is very, very important. The work that you are doing on your own ascension is very, very important. Collective ascension is based upon individual enlightenment. Okay. And I know it is a heck of a time out there in the physical world. Some of you are experiencing crazy things in your bodies, strange things happening. You're right on track. Just honor everything happening and ask for revelations from your higher self to keep allowing you to move the energy. Move the energy. Let it move. Don't stop it. You can't stop the waterfall now. Okay. All you can do is steward the energy. Okay. So let us be in that flow as we head into a powerful week. And thank you for being with me. I will be here probably next Monday. There is a Monday coming up where it will be a Tuesday live broadcast, but I don't think it's next week. But I will announce it well in advance when it does. But thank you, those of you who are on Patreon. I will catch you in the live chat, no doubt, or the group chat, I should say. Those of you who have not yet joined us, come and join us, guys. It's special over there. And we got some really cool things happening. The community is really coming together, and it is lovely. So we're about to launch a Patreon members only Telegram group, and I will announce that in the group more closer to the time. It's a few days away, just so we can DM each other more and just connect with each other more, and have live events more just for the Patreon inner circle. So one of the perks, but watch the space for that. But either way, we'll keep posting snippets on YouTube. You will still have access to some of the content. So we hope you find it valuable. We're trying to serve everyone and get this operation moving still. It does cost quite a lot to run. So thank you for all your support, all your donations, Patreon members. We are very grateful. And we will keep doing our best to serve and add value to the divine plan. So thank you for doing the same. I love you. Send all my love to you right now. And I will see you on the next live broadcast. All right, guys. Have an amazing weekend.